Hello and welcome in, folks. Great to have you in, soccer lovers and friends from across the country and across the world, to Royal Oak, Michigan, the site for USL2 action. Oakland County FC is under 10 minutes away from taking on Midwest United. Oakland County FC, this is their 4th of 8 home games, so at the end of the night, the home program will be halfway done. Can you believe it? And this first season for head coach Steve Walker, facing some adversity in the mid-period of the season, the record stands with just 2 wins and 4 losses, finding themselves in 5th place out of 8 teams. The goal of the season is to make the top 2 and reach the playoff stage of the USL2 season. Facing some adversity, but plenty of time to make up ground. At this time, I'd like to say welcome in. You are watching on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel and the Sports Engine app. And I'd like to welcome in my broadcast partner, Mr. Mitch Gatsky. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful night for some soccer here in Royal Oak, isn't it?
Yeah, cheers, Rob. Always great to be alongside you and pleased to be here presenting another edition of Oakland County FC. We've got a good one for you tonight. It's a chance for County to take a pop at the league leaders, and they'll need to tap into that first half from the reverse fixture on May 22nd, where OCFC dominated possession. Midwest looked flustered, and it was 1-0 at the break. As you mentioned, we're going to be passing over the midway point of the season here, and a win here would really launch us into that second half of the season and get things kick-started back the way we need them to go.
It was looking promising at halftime of the reverse fixture, and now Midwest United, after coming back and winning 2-1 against Oakland County near the beginning of the season, has now run out well ahead of the pack. They've played a few more games than the rest of the field, but they have an impressive record of 7 wins and just the 1 loss and tie. So what can Oakland County do? They face some adversity, some selection changes. What do you think Coach Steve Walker and the side in purple can do to secure a much-needed 3 points?
They're going to have to answer the questions up top that remain game after game. We've been asking who's going to step up for this team and lead the way up top and score some goals or assist their teammates in doing so and get this team a better chance to pick up 3 points at a time. It's really tough when you try to approach games winning 1-0 and run into a little bit of a dry spell. And tonight, just going to need the goals to start flowing in order for things to open up and give County a chance to pull off, I think, what people would consider an upset here tonight.
It is a beautiful evening. It was looking a little dicey. The camera had to be moved last minute as a storm cloud approached and then has seemingly gone to the south. So we were kind of surrounded by storms there for a moment, but they seem to have moved away. You look on the field, our color guard for the evening is moving to the right-hand side of the field. Always wonderful to have those members of the community out to the game. As we dive in, about 3 minutes and some change until we have kickoff. My name is Robert Kerr. Alongside Mitch Gatsky, we got the OCFC stream team getting it going here in the press box at Royal Oak High School Stadium. We are streaming live, and you can come back to it as well on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. At halftime, we'll have Brooks Lambier from the Sunday Review Show. He is a scout and does a lot. He's plugged into a whole nother level than Mitch and myself are, so we'll welcome him back into the booth. We enjoyed his company so much on Sunday's game. He's going to come into the booth at halftime and kind of break down from a scouting and a player analysis viewpoint, give us a little bit of rundown at halftime. But as we look to kick off, should we start with some lineups? Mitch, who do you want to start with?
Yeah, I think we could take a look at that County lineup to start things off with. It'll be Rob Jelli between the sticks, per usual. He's played every minute this season for OCFC. I believe number 2, Dominic Koji, and number 5, Albara Al-Sufi will, either one of those will be the left back, and the other will pair with Carson Balag in the middle of the defense there. We've actually got the graphic up there, so it looks like it will be Koji, in fact, in that position. Number 10, Rocco Galati will captain the side from his customary right back position. Kai Yamazaki, who hasn't missed a minute this season either, wears 6 and plays 6, the central defensive midfielder. Number 12 and number 13, Colin Arce and Jazinho Ogara will play 8-ish roles in the midfield, pushing up into attack when possession allows. Number 7, Chewy Makuka, and number 11, Costa Wells will play on the wings, interchanging at times, linking with each other, and carrying the play for County. And starting up top, number 9, Braden Stefanovic. He will also check down into midfield as a false 9 at times, giving County an overload in that midfield area. We'll see who can provide that missing ingredient that's been lacking over the last few games as County struggle a bit to score and look to unlock this stout Midwest defense here this evening.
Definitely looking for Braden Stefanovic, the Canadian, to break out. This County side needs goals more than anything right now. Looking at the table-topping visitors starting lineup here tonight, Jonathan Kleiwer is going to be the man between the posts and then on the back line. Brother of a former County player, Christian Shannon. Then we go across the line with Benjamin Adamson, Jonathan Stout, and then Joshua Clementson rounds out that back four. In the middle of the park, Brad Dunwell, very experienced midfield for the visitors. Bradley Dunwell had a good run in the professional leagues. He even spent the season last year with Detroit City FC in the USL Championship. Now coaching with Midwest United. Next to him, MSU alum and just a Michigan soccer staple, Giuseppe Baroni. And you move up in across that midfield. There's also Ezra White and Jonathan Stout. And then leading the line, they got Vitalis Tikawara, but the gold scorer, another former County man, Aaron Siljmani. We called him Roni last year, and now he is the man for Midwest United. 5 goals on the season. County will need to keep him quiet if they are to get a result. I mean, starts with defending Siljmani and those other goal scorers. They have a trio of very dangerous Broncos on this Midwest United side. Defense hasn't been the problem. It's been the goal scoring for County. What do you think needs to change from prior performances? We'll go off the last game. You know, it was a 1-0 decision, very tight. You know, one decisive moment of goal makes the difference in that one. Do you think that we can see something different from County on this midweek tilt against Midwest United to get those goals?
I think it's somebody that's really going to step up and grab the game by the scruff of the neck and make it their own, really put their impact on the opponents here tonight in Midwest United. I think throughout the season we've seen some players who have done well, but maybe they're looking to their teammates to put the finishing touches on things. Somebody's going to need to provide that spark tonight. There's plenty of options. There's no doubt about that. The talent is there. It's just a matter of piecing it all together in the right ways to, like I said, unlock what's been a pretty stout defense for Midwest.
So we are just moments away from kickoff. It looks like the teams are going to be led out onto the field in just one moment. A reminder to you guys, my name is Robert Kerr on the play-by-play next to Mitch Gatsky, and we are going to be streaming live on We Are Soccer YouTube channel all season long. Game 4 of 8 just moments away. That starting lineup for County: Jelai, Galati, Balau, Koji, Al-Sufi, Yamazaki, Arce, Ogaro, Costa Wells, Braden Stefanovic, and Chewy Makuka. For the visitors, Kleiwer, Shannon, Adamson, Stout, Dunwell, Baroni, Burkett, White, Clementson, Sojmani, and Takawira. So some big-time talent on display here. Midwest United are on their hottest streak they've been on as a USL2 club. They struggled their first year, definitely improved in year 2, and are leading the league in season 3. Oakland County FC facing an unfamiliar problem of not having the goals in the side.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, Rob. Normally, the issue for County over the years has been on that back line and keeping opponents out. This year, it's completely opposite. It's just a lack of impetus up top, and really that goal-scoring drought, as we mentioned, is kind of handcuffed the boys in purple over these last couple of weeks. And here's hoping they can break out of that funk here tonight.
If you guys have not been out to a Oakland County FC match day, it is a wonderful event for the whole family. You can go to community partners in downtown Clawson, visit Zioli's Modern Italian before the game. And when you make it to Royal Oak High School Stadium, there's a kid zone with bounce houses, a mini field face painter, and sometimes there's even balloon animal makers for the kids free of charge. There's halftime entertainment. More often than not, we have a live band. DJ Pete Roos is playing the tunes for us at the game today. But a really fun event. And tonight is, in fact, Club Appreciation Night. So kids who are in their club kits are getting into the match free of charge tonight.
We got a bunch of rowdy kids whose parents had a little extra money to spend on some candy. So hopefully we'll be hearing some cheers from the stands here at Royal Oak High School Stadium tonight. The boys in purple are going to need it because the guys in gray have been good all season.
Yeah, Oakland County are in the night sky kits designed by Oakland County FC supporter Scott Balau. Beautiful purple and black kit. And the visiting Midwest United in the all grays. As we welcome in our anthem singer down on the field, we'll go to her, and then we'll get to kickoff for some USL action between Oakland County FC and Midwest United.
Presented by the Civil Air Patrol of Van Dyke Cadet Squadron.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, who's got stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Or the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red amongst thirsty air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic stuff there from anthem singer Allie Shepard, accompanied by our color guard tonight, the Civil Air Patrol. And here we are. USL2 League action. Oakland County FC versus Midwest United is just moments away. Oakland County FC sit in 5th place in the Great Lakes Division, and the visiting Midwest United, a mean 7-1-1 record, topping the table in this Great Lakes Division. My name's Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky. Real quick as the teams settle in and we get to the actual game at hand. Quick takes. What do you think County needs to do to get on the board?
Quick start. As I look at the results that Midwest have put up this year, they've only given up 2 goals in 2 matches. One of them their last time out at Flint. We know how good the Bucks are. The other time was way back in the opener, May 8th against Macomb, and they ended up winning that 3-2, Midwest did. So chances are they're not going to give up 2 goals here tonight if, past results are anything of an indication. So that makes that first goal all the more important, knowing that they're going to be at a bit of a premium here tonight. County's definitely going to want to start off with that opening goal. Take it from there, because we've seen it's a lot more, I think, acceptable and within the realm of possibility for them to protect a lead as opposed to trying to work real hard in the second half and go grab a winner. So we'll see what this hot start comes off looking like in these hot conditions, Rob. I'm uncomfortable up here in the booth, so I can only imagine it's a little bit more uncomfortable down there on the turf pitch, and we'll just see kind of what these conditions look like as the game unfolds, and whichever team handles those better, it will probably go a long way in telling us how the result will shape up here tonight.
So Oakland County come into this game 2 wins, 4 losses, desperately need 3 points, and they'll be put to the test. Head coach Steve Walker has put his faith in these players, starting them in the starting 11. And here we go. Club Appreciation Night 2024 is underway. Oakland County FC in the purple, taking on table toppers Midwest United. Oakland County FC, the home team, in the purple and black, going from right to left, south to north on your screens. Midwest United, left to right, in the all gray and the white numbers. So testing these middle-aged eyeballs, the visitors are trying to see these numbers on these players. Midwest United come in with a good amount of youth, very dynamic youth, as well as some really good experience. I mean,
It's a really
to
cool
have
mix.
Giuseppe Baroni and Brad Dunwell as your midfield pair, not many teams, if any, really have that kind of experience in the middle of their team. And they have, Division I experienced strikers across the board. I mean, we touched on leading striker for Midwest United, and he's got to be tied or in the top 2 for scores in the division. Siljmani here looks like he's going to be playing alone, kind of number 9. He's already feigning to the right as this ball is sent across the box there. Who was that? Was that Stevanovic trying to find a little bit of service there?
Yep.
And he's chasing that ball down. Like I said in the pregame, want that number 9 for County to get on the board. He's gone past a couple defenders, stumbles, and the Midwest United center back able to cover there. And County putting some early pressure onto this Midwest United defense that saw it fly over the goalkeeper, Jonathan Kleiwer, the goalkeeper who recently transferred to Missouri State, and he might be busy if County execute their attacking plan here today. I think it looks like a 4-2-3-1 from Steve Walker and the home team. As here's Midwest United's first foray into the box, getting around captain Rocco Galati. And Rocco does just enough to shepherd that ball out of bounds for a Oakland County FC goal kick, the first of the day for everyday starter Rob Gelai. He plays short to one of the standout players, I thought, in Sunday's 1-0 loss was young Dominic Koji. He played a couple different roles in that game and came out with, I think, a pretty respectable performance on his resume. Wasn't sure what to expect. He hasn't played a lot for County. That's good to see him. The minutes leaders for this County side, goalkeeper Rob Gelai, and in that number 6, there he is on the ball, flipping it to the right-hand side, actually getting his pass intercepted, is Kai Yamazaki, and he's going to try to bust his gut to get there, and a sliding pass gets back to Dominic Koji, the number 2. Stayed down for a minute, and I don't know what County would be if that number 6 was to have to face some timeout, but we're not going to worry about that, as now let's looking on the right touch line, looking for the run of number 7, Chewy Makuka. That's Albara Al-Sufi, the number 5, that right back for County. Haven't seen too much of him.
Yeah, he subbed in for Rocco Galati, and I think actually Al-Sufi must prefer to play as the right back, and that's why we see Rocco as opposed to on the right where we're used to seeing him. He's over on the left, taking this throw on the near side here. So again, those changes at the back for County, it's been something that we've mentioned on just about every game this season, and the chop and change and rotation that's needed to happen for one reason or another. It hasn't affected their play, I will say that. They've been remarkably consistent in defense despite all of those changes and guys coming in and out of the lineup. I think that goes, it speaks volumes to the presence that Rob Jelli has at the back.
That was Braden Stevanovic pressuring that Midwest United back line, trying to force a turnover. And it looked like he was going to get the ball back for a moment, but Midwest do well to pass out of trouble. And they've got some breathing room here. Pick the head up, looking for Siljmani, but that's cut out by Koji. And there is the veteran Giuseppe Baroni, the number 8. He's played at a variety of places. I mean, he played collegiately at Michigan State University, as 3 of his brothers had. He got to play with his brother Hunter, and then his other brothers, Mark and Dom, were able to play together. So 4 brothers, all Spartan soccer players. And I've seen Baroni play for a number of different semi-pro teams. I think
it seems
Rapid
like
City FC in the indoor play. He had a 3-4 goal performance when I did a game out there in Grand Rapids. And if we didn't say so, Midwest United, the visitors today from the west side of the state in the Grand Rapids area. So a bit of an east versus west Michigan battle here. And then the number 6, Brad Dunwell, I mean, multiple-year professional career, and now as he transitions to coaching, adds a lot. And he contributed a lot to Detroit City FC, for 1 or 2 years, Dunwell?
2 years ago at DCFC, and then spent last year with Charlotte Independence of USL 1. So he's traveled quite a ways in his soccer journey, and the experience that he adds to this side has got to be pretty invaluable. You look around the lineup, and we'll get more into the young stars that Midwest has in their lineup, but just the experience that those 2 in the middle are going to be able to pass along to those guys. You'll watch those guys just kind of field general their way through the game, Baroni and Dunwell.
Yeah, the 6 and the 8 of Midwest is who we're talking about. I mean, not many teams have, former professionals in their lineup. I mean, these guys are 27 and 28, and then the majority of these players are between 18 and 23. So good to have a mix for balance of a team. County actually have an older player in their lineup, the number 11, Costa Wells. I've seen him play for a variety of different elite amateur and semi-pro teams over the years as well. Interesting to see him in there as County get a whistle here. It's a handball at the edge of the penalty area. We're about 7 minutes into this matchup. And the first kind of interesting moment here, the first time for Midwest United to really maybe get their blood pressure up just a notch.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there with the handball, just popped up, and actually thankful Midwest will be that happened outside the box. Good opportunity here for Chewy Makuka to have a crack at goal. Let's see what he can do.
Head coach Steve Walker would just absolutely love and welcome a set-piece goal here, and I'm sure Chewy Makuka himself would love to get on the board. Likely a left-footed strike here. You got Colin Arce and Stevanovic lurking in the middle. Left-footed strike, and it clanks off the outside of the upright. Makuka almost got the scoring started here as the second ball sent in. 3rd attempt to Captain Galati. He sensibly tries to reset. There's Zinho out to Al-Sufi. Can County possess the ball for a little bit, get some passes together, really get comfortable with possession here.
Great strike from Chewy there, and just got the outside of the post.
Yeah, I don't think that goalkeeper Jonathan Kluwer was going to get over to that. Just a couple inches in, and County are on the board. Chewy Makuka with the first real chance of the game, just inches away from an opener.
And that's the kind of thing that County need from Chewy. He's one of the players that they were leaning on and planning on really carrying the load for them this summer. He's done a bit, but not as much as we'd like to see. So it's good. I think that's the second time this season we've seen him come very close to scoring of a free kick situation in that sort of area.
Yeah, it's a good point. He did hit it off the post a couple weeks back. Both of the Tiffin wingers have played a lot of minutes, Chewy and Malvin Blah. Colin Arce getting the start over Malvin today. Interesting change. And with just the 2 goals, Colin Arce leading the goal-scoring list for County.
And I think that's part of it. You just need a guy who's got that nose for goal, and Colin has popped up a couple of times in big moments. And as you mentioned, the leading scorer with just 2, that's a dire situation, and hopefully Colin can add to his tally tonight.
As we have a free kick just inside Midwest United's half. Captain Rocco Galati.
Rocco's so good at taking the sting out of the game in these sort of situations where, yeah, it's early, but slow your team down, get organized, make sure you get all of this.
I always like to compare him to Ashley Young in certain ways. In certain games and certain matchups, he could be the most important player on the field, and depending on how other things shake out, maybe not as much, but he's always willing to be combative and get into kind of a one-on-one situation and to definitely mix it up and put his heart on his sleeve and put all of his energy and even some energy, like the fumes of his energy, he'll put out onto the field.
He's not flashy, but he's solid. And at this level, a solid player, somebody you can pencil in for a hard shift every game, every time out. Certainly somebody you want wearing your captain's armband.
Makuka with the corner, left footer, goes back post, skims off the top of the head of Kai Yamazaki. To the chagrin of the Midwest defenders. It looked like it came off Yamazaki, but our center referee points in favor of a second consecutive county corner. If you're just joining us here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel, my name's Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky and the OCFC stream team. It is scoreless here into the 12th minute as Costa Wells delivers a right-footed corner, but the Midwest goalkeeper able to get a good grab on that.
Yeah, not too much going either way quite yet. Chewy with the one chance on the free kick, Rob. And why don't I tell you about one of our wonderful sponsors here. Diversified Members Credit Union is your local credit union, and if you're looking to upgrade your life from kitchens, weddings, vacations, and more, they can help make it real. Visit the DMCU tent in the pavilion during the match for information, or visit them at dmcu.com.
Midwest United come across halfway. Here's Baroni. He's got runners to his right. Finds one of them, but Midwest United attacker surrounded by 2 or 3 purple shirts there. And here's Zinho playing it wide to Al-Sufi. And that's good to see that the defensive intensity is with County. It looked for a moment that there was 2 runners ahead for that Baroni ball. The one player, attacking player, cut it short. And that kind of worked in the favor of the County defense as Arce plays it to Galati. Down the left-hand side, he's got Wells and Width. Goes central to Arce. Back to Galati's run. Tries to square it. And gets enough to earn a corner kick. And this is probably, the 4th corner for County in the first 13, 14 minutes of the game?
Yeah, nice little run of possession here, and they're starting to put some pressure on Midwest. A great little 1-2 combination and the right idea from Rocco, but defender there to break up that possibility.
I want to see a good delivery from Costa Wells. He's a good flair player. The last one went into the goalie's hands. This goes far post, and it goes well over the runners at the back post and out for a throw-in on the far side. That was Kai Yamazaki making that run to the back stick, but that was well over his head on that opportunity. So maybe the 3rd time from this side will be the charm.
We haven't seen a whole lot of potency from County on corners this season. There's been 1 goal. I think that one came out against Midwest, actually. Not quite on the corner, but the play just after the corner, kind of the second chance opportunity that Arce was able to slide into the back of the net. But we've mentioned it a couple times. There's not a whole lot of height in the lineup and not a whole lot of guys you can count on to go bang in headers in those crowded situations. So we'll continue to monitor it, but maybe a change in tactic for County on those coming corners.
Yeah, you might have to get creative or get lucky, just get into those dangerous areas. But when you're not scoring goals from open play, you kind of just got to manufacture some opportunities to get a goal.
You got to find a way, right? If you can't break an opponent down in open play, you got to take advantage of those opportunities from dead ball positions in around the penalty area, and County just hasn't done a good enough job of that so far this season.
Looking at that
Turnover
was
there.
a good win by Chewy Makuka. He breaks into the box one-on-one. He pokes it around the goalkeeper, but unfortunately around the post as well. Chewy Makuka, his second big opportunity of this match.
Yeah, and I think the defender did just enough to push him off his balance there. Number 4, Benjamin Adamson, tracking back and, again, just making Chewy take that touch a little bit out of the timing that he wanted.
Yeah,
But the turnover, that's something that's really kind of kick-started the OCFC offense more times than not. When they haven't been able to break teams down, it's been forcing turnovers high up the field that's kind of opened things up for them.
And hopefully this is another opportunity off of a interception from a goal kick. Coming out the back, he's like long balls and turnovers has been the formula so far for County.
And the one thing I noticed, Rob, early on, we're just 15 minutes in, and I think already County's won more headers and second balls than they did in that entire match against Ann Arbor, where it just seemed like every time they needed a player in an area, they were a half step off and the timing wasn't quite there. Nothing came together the way that they wanted to. Already looks much better here tonight from County.
Yeah, definitely County on the front foot so far in this opening quarter of an hour here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Thanks for joining us here on We Are Soccer.
All of a sudden, it's sunny.
Yeah, the weather conditions have been pretty interesting here in Metro Detroit. There was kind of a circle of storms all around us when we were pre-gaming. We had to move the camera from up top into some cover, and it just sprinkled and then kind of dissipated and went to the south. So we'll take that sun. I don't think it's as hot on the field as it is up in here, though.
You might be
Mitch.
right. There is no breeze up here.
As Midwest United looking for a right-footed strike, goes to Takawira, and they find Siljmani. And there's enough purple shirts back for now. Watch out for Burkett,
Good step up
as
there.
that's a good interception from County. Arce is going to get beaten to that ball. And that's that number 16 I referenced, Connor Burkett, one of the Western Michigan Bronco trio that have played a key role in this good first half of the season for Midwest United. And that's a bad turnover. Here's Takawira driving in for a right-footed strike, and that sails well high of Rob Shelai's goal. But turnover that was really unnecessary. I know they were trying to get some combination of passes, but you got to feel that guy being there and not allow a clean turnover in your own third.
And Rob, we mentioned some chop and change at the back, and not only is that a problem when it comes to the defending, but it's also passing the ball out of the back in those situations where guys are just in a different spot on the field than they're used to being. Maybe they're central midfielder like Carson Balog's case. He's just not used to operating so far back in that back line, and when he looks to those passing avenues, maybe the guy that he's used to seeing in that area isn't in the same spot. So it can take a game or two to really get on the same page and understand the flow of passing and how you want to move the ball around the back so that you're not just hoofing it up to your strikers every time and hoping that they can get on the end of it.
That was a interesting little foot race there. Chewy Makuka taking on the number 19, Joshua Clementson. And it looked like Clementson kind of came out better for it with the throw-in as Midwest United get into the County box again. Siljmani returns the pass. Here's Takawira. He dummies it to Rossi. Possible handball there, no whistle. And that's Brad Dunwell missing that pass out to the number 5, Jonathan Stout, the winger. Stout, decorated high school player, and is doing some big things himself at the collegiate level. I think he's over at Michigan State himself. So lots of talent on here, and not to mention U of M and former Midwest Academy player Nick Cassidy on the bench for Midwest United. So he's like a potential starter that they still have yet to bring on. And Takawira and Siljamani are definitely already threats before they even introduce anyone from the bench.
We are really seeing the depth come through for Midwest in a big way this summer, and talked about it with head coach Luke Ruff before the season started, and he mentioned just what those academy products and the continuity that they bring to your side, what they can really do for the rest of the team that kind of latches on to that playing style, and having those guys in-house under your roof, understanding your way of play, being able to roll other players into that mix has really opened up a lot of things for them, and it's gained them a lot of success here this season, whereas they have struggled in past years picking up the results that they've turned over the last 2 months.
Yeah, definitely a big step up this year. Midwest United, 7 wins out of 9 attempts. Pretty impressive stuff for their 3rd year in the division. As Midwest United, enjoy some possession on the ball, let you guys know about one of our key sponsors, Sweet Greens, whose core values guide the actions as they aim to empower customers, team members, and partners to be a positive force in the food system. That's why they're building a transparent supply network and why they cook from scratch and building a community of people who believe in the power of real food. For more info, visit locations near you and visit sweetgreen.com. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it, Mitch.
Yeah, it's delicious food, and they keep our boys nutritious and ready for the next match. We've had a couple of quick turnarounds here in the last 2 weeks, and there's people over at Sweet Greens doing their utmost to keep the boys in shape, fully fit, ready for that next match.
We're talking about youth club connections with Midwest United and kind of how they've built their squad. But here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, it is Club Appreciation Night. Youngsters wearing their club kits are getting in charge free as Takawira centers it. Siljamani tries to get on there, and it bounces around a few times, but that's Dominic Koji and Carson below doing well to keep Siljamani from getting a good shot on goal there.
Siljamani wanted to throw his foot at it, but it was too high. He would have been certainly called for a foul had he tried to throw that boot at it. The ball didn't pop up that way. I think he would have had a chance at goal. Vulnerable position for County.
Yeah, Vitalis Takawira, the number 30, the kind of playing right wing here, has definitely been threatening. And he did well to get the ball in the box on that last sequence as County kind of rearranged themselves as it looked like there was indecision for a brief moment. As that one sent long looking for Stefanovic. It's cut out from him and Rossi, and here's Dunwell, Takawira. They're getting some players ahead of the ball. Plenty of County purple there as Takawira gets on it, looking for a left-footed strike, and it's blocked, I think, by a teammate, actually. I think that was Jonathan Stout getting in the way of Takawira's attempt. It looked like there was enough County numbers behind the ball, but Takawira able to slice through a few of those.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, created some space for himself. He's quick on the ball, and he's made a couple of defenders miss here in the early going, creating some chances for himself, and thought he'd be able to get a better strike on goal, but I think part of that shiftiness is sometimes your teammates don't know where you're going, and saw it there.
Moving up the field slowly, our County, trying to find a bit of a breakthrough. It would be impressive to see them kind of break down a set-up team. The fleeting goals we've had have been kind of broken plays or breakaways. It would be fantastic to see them break down an organized defense as Midwest United look to take advantage of a turnover at the back as there's a slip from a County defender. I think this is Stout on his right foot. Finds Takawira. Arce pokes it away from behind, but it's still with Midwest United in the county box. Good sliding effort there by county number 5. Albara Al-Sufi, the former Detroit Gold Star player, has spent some time in the NISA ranks last year, and he gets his first start tonight, and he stood up to the test there in that moment.
He's deputized well a few times here for County. And a great slide there to break up a dangerous play.
As the Elmwood Elite start to make noise here in the first half, Giuseppe Baroni looks to take a right-footed corner. Goes to the top of the box, headed only just straight up into the air, and Colin Arce with a no-nonsense clearance. As Braden Stevanovic looks to chase, but unfortunately has that bounce off of his thigh and out of play. You feel like if Stevanovic just gets one bounce to go his way, might ignite that that goal-scoring ability that we were so excited about in preseason.
That's a great point, Rob. With such a young player, really kind of taking a step up in his career, he obviously wants to show everyone at this level that he not only belongs here but can play at a higher level. And just so far it hasn't come off for him, but you're right. It absolutely could all come together in one moment and really kind of unlock the rest of his season.
Yeah, he's headed to a major D1 college program, West Virginia, in the fall. I'm sure he wants to show out here the rest of the season. That's a right-footed strike off the right boot of a Michigan State Spartan, Jonathan Stout, but didn't really have the accuracy. Jelai in the county goal didn't look all too worried about that.
No, I think that's one of those where you just have some space and you go ahead and take it. Nobody's going to close you down. You might as well have a crack at goal. But, yeah, you're right. Jelai not troubled by that one at all.
He had a couple of words with key midfielder Kai Yamazaki there.
Yeah, that was interesting.
What he had to say there.
It was very interesting whether it's, it's something that Jelai can see from the back, because obviously he's got a different perspective. Everything's happening in front of him, right? So the information that Jelai is able to pass along to his teammates about how Midwest is trying to break things down really can go a long way, because guys, especially in Kai Yamazaki's position, there's things happening all around him, and he's kind of constantly on a swivel and might not see everything that Jelai can have just right in front of his face.
It's Chewy Makuka receiving that throw, and he's got 3 goals to his name in the county purple. This is going to cycle all the way back around to Captain Rocco Galati. Got Takawira flanking him. Finds Arce. Is Yamazaki finding another Tiffin teammate. And here's another one. Here's Makuka, aforementioned. Back to Zinho. Al-Sufi tried to get it to Chewy Makuka, who does well to kind of hack at it to keep it in bounds for a moment, but again, not able to get that next step, that next piece of quality to get that into a dangerous area. Worked it all the way down the field, but not really in a danger zone.
I almost think, Rob, sometimes County is too focused on playing on the wings. It's a lot of possession on the flanks, and it certainly does provide some opportunities, but sometimes just get the ball into the middle. We're, I think, going to take a little water break here for both teams. Or
I'm not sure about that. It looks like
having some issues.
Either Baroni's having an issue or the referee wants to have a word with the coaching staff over there.
Hopefully Giuseppe Baroni's all right, but it looks like he might come out for a minute. It is hot. I want to say that.
It's a warm, humid night. There's a breeze out there, not in here, but there's a breeze out there for the players. But, of course, the field, the artificial turf does get hot and cooking in the sun all day long, so it can feel like a frying pan out there. He looks like he's hydrating, so hopefully he'll be just fine once he gets some fluids.
Midwest down to 10 at the moment.
You'd like County to be able to take advantage of this, but here's Siljmani. Takawira is ahead of him. Right-footed strike sends Jelai diving and flying through the air to his left, but looked like he had that one covered. That was well wide in the end.
It was a show dive. I think he just wanted to get loose a little because
get involved.
Pretty far wide.
Yeah, we're just under half an hour played. Highlights of the match so far: Chewy Makuka, the number 7 for County, struck the upright for Midwest United off of a free kick. It was a free kick right on the edge of the box for an incidental handball. Makuka, great strike, hit the upright, and not really a whole lot from there. Midwest United has had the ball on the edges of the County box, kind of taken a couple shots, not too accurate, and with those being the highlights, you can see why it's scoreless here after half an hour.
Yeah, both teams still looking to find the best way to break down their opponent. County, per usual, playing a lot on the wings. Looks like Midwest really likes to get the ball in the possession of their midfielders and let them go to work and open things up for their more attacking players up top. Zulzmani's been a problem a couple of times. He's certainly the one to watch. I think he's...
Midwest United definitely have made, I'd say, better runs off the ball. While they've had more possession, more opportunity to make those runs, is it the likes of Stout and Ezra White and now Takawira here, who's on the ball now, have made some good runs ahead of the ball, just haven't been linked up just yet as Takawira combines with Stout, gets the ball back. Galati able to step in front of that before the shot was taken, but good combo there in the box from Midwest United. Still on the ball. Do they have the patience to cycle it through again?
I think they do. It just looks like their patterns of play are really drilled and they know what they want to do.
Baroni with a bit of a wiggle on that right-footed strike. Jelai had to really make sure he got down for that because they had some dip on it off the former Spartan's foot.
Yeah, little dip there. Nothing too worrisome from Jelai. I think the best crack at goal so far from Midwest. But, again, when they get opponents into that defensive shell, it seems like they really do know what they want to do with the ball, spreading it all across the top of the box and then penetrating and finding those little avenues for shots.
Yeah, Baroni, definitely one of the two veterans in this Midwest United midfield.
You can't
County
overstate what those guys do for a team at this level because no other team has that.
Here's Takawira down the right-hand side. Galati's chasing him, and that bounces in off the left paw of Rob Jelai, and that is the opening goal of the game, and it goes in favor of the visitors' number 30, Vitalis Takawira.
Yeah, that one.
I think that's his second of the season.
It is indeed. The Davenport player just put one on net, and Rob Jelai has been really good all season. I think that was probably the first moment of, a lapse of concentration or just obviously not what he wanted in that moment. Lets that one sneak in on his near side. Got a piece, didn't get enough.
But whenever an opponent is in on goal with no one in front of you, it leaves the door open for any number of, placements of that shot. I think Rob was leaning to his right for a centering ball, and it was hit between him and the post. It's unfortunate because he's been so good, and the chances that his offense has provided have been slim, so to give up a somewhat softer goal is disappointing, and it puts the home team down to a 1-0 deficit here in the first half.
Yeah, when you come into a game thinking, hey, we can really rely on our defenders and our goalie to stay intact at the back, not give up any easy opportunities or any easy goals, and when that ends up happening, it can certainly be a blow. Let's see how County can respond here.
So 1-0 in favor of the visitors. Vitalis Takawira getting his name on the score sheet.
Really nothing special on the play either. He just got in behind and cranked one on net, and it was enough to slide past Jelai's hand.
Visiting number 16, Connor Burkett, who has 2 goals of his own on the season. Just trying to get some service into the box with his right foot, but County able to put that behind for a corner. after conceding. It's one of the most vulnerable times of the game, so this corner seems very important to defend, as it's good service from Giuseppe Baroni and a good strong run into the front post by the big center back. Got really solid contact on it, but unable to steer it on goal. I think that was the big number 4, Benjamin Adamson.
Yeah, those are tough. And I think a lot of times we see kind of wide open headers and you think, oh, how could he not bury that? But when you break it down, those chances are few and far between. And when you get them, it doesn't often go the way that you want it to.
And at the end of the day, it's a deflection off the top of your head.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it can be very hard to get the exact contact in the exact moment with the placement. There's a lot of variables at play, and it's harder than it looks, I guess I would say.
Unless you have a forehead like Harry Maguire. It's just it's not a predictable bounce off the noodle. This County, what will their response be? They managed to survive that quick corner after conceding. Can they get back on the board? About 10 minutes to go in this first half here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. If you're just joining us, my name is Robert Kerr on the call alongside my broadcast partner, Mitch Gatsky. Happy to be streamed live on We Are Soccer's YouTube channel. That's Sufi trying to get on the ball. There's Stevanovic, who's deeper in the field than we've seen him. He gets totally surrounded by Midwest players there and taken off the ball. And Baroni slips in a through ball. Koji able to get a left boot on it and get there before Roni Silajmani, the leading goal scorer for the visitors. And that's a interception he really needed to make there, Mitch.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Quality ball there by Baroni as Baroni looks to feed the ball in again. Jelai spills, and there's number 2. Offside, though, saves the day for County, saves the blushes of the County keeper.
No kidding.
As that one's ruled offside. I don't know how many more welcome of a flag there could be for County faithful, but it stays 1-0 following the offside flag.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to say, you're already kind of up against it. You can't give up another goal before half. You'd really love to claw one back and go in level at the break, but another goal would almost, you think, be the nail in the coffin with just the struggles that we've seen offensively from County.
Yeah, they really got to get one before the break. And you want to take advantage. Before they scored, we were commenting on the veterans in the middle of the park for the visitors. And I was thinking the more it went 0-0, the harder they would have to work, and maybe they get tired out and be removed. But if they're holding on to a lead, that might not be the case, as Baroni has kind of started pulling the strings a little bit, and he almost served up a couple of his teammates already.
And the other thing, too, is 2 guys who have that experience, they know how to go full 90s, and they're not going to burn themselves out in the first half.
True.
So I would expect more of a steady hand from them as this one continues to unfold. But you just see the control that they have in the game. That pass, obviously notwithstanding. But normally, County is the team
curse there.
that I think controls midfield better. And they have done really well at exploiting Kai Yamazaki on the ball here and getting Zinho on the ball in space. That's not a great pass over there. Well, Sufi can't save it. Turnover to Midwest, but right now they are controlling midfield, controlling the ball, and really got County up against it.
Yeah, that was a loose pass from Kai Yamazaki that puts County right in defensive posture again. These last 5-10 minutes, really the minutes leading up to the goal and since have been all in the County end. The visitors thought they had a second a moment ago, but it was ruled out for offside. County has hit the bar in this first half.
Hit the bar, and Chewy also had that little slipped breakthrough where he
was one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Tapped it, and couldn't find that corner. So a couple of opportunities for County to have taken the lead, but no luck.
And here's the visitors' goal scorer going around 2 or 3 County defenders. Good intervention in the end there. Zinho's pass does make it down to Costa Wells, who plays Stevanovic, who's on the run. He's got a center back in front of him. Can he get around him? He maintains possession at the very least. Pass to Arce. Zinho, what can they do here? They find their captain, Rocco Galati. Can he put a quality pass in? He finds El Sufi in some space. Not too many runners in the box, though. Stevanovic needs to coordinate with his teammates to get a run towards goal linked up with a pass, but it cycled back around again. The County attackers outside of the 18-yard box. Nobody really threatening that goal as Costa Wells does well to maintain possession. Someone needs to make a run in behind here. All the County attackers are surrounded by gray shirts. Galati.
Koji's got a good diagonal ball. I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe something that he lofted in toward Chewy. Because right now, yeah, it's just not happening through the midfield. You can see all the numbers that Midwest has in there, all the gray shirts.
Wells finds Galati, picks his head up. There's a couple purple shirts there, but that's not going to do it. Skips over the foot of Jonathan Stout. Well, Sufi kind of outdoes himself, and the ball goes out of play eventually. Good to see County hang on to the ball for an extended period of time, but unable to really produce anything threatening on the visitors' goal.
I think they're at their best when they have players in space driving at defenders, so those quick switches can really provide the attacking potency that they need, but just hasn't been that space to be able to exploit. Midwest very compact at the back, especially with that goal now. They'll probably just look to consolidate until halftime.
It's Dominic Koji on the ball. He's got his head up looking for an outlet, and not a lot of options. Costa Wells tries to feed it to Stevanovic, but the defender helps it along. Going to his left-hand side, cutting inside. But the visiting number 6, Brad Dunwell, saw that coming and took care of business and cleared it out of danger. Stevanovic, good to see him on the ball. Arce, very strong tackle. Finds Chewy. Out to Al-Sufi. Can County get an equalizer? That's towards Stevanovic, but a couple defenders in the way. Rocco tries a rip, but it's blocked. Here's Wells. Puts in a cross. Goes across the top of the 18-yard box. Eventually finds his way to Zinho. Al-Sufi. Chips it in, but there's nothing doing there as the Midwest goalkeeper, Jonathan Kluwer, the recent transfer to Missouri State and a Midwest United Academy product, able to pick that up with no problem at all.
Yeah, I think he's one of 2 Academy products for Midwest United in their starting lineup tonight, the other being Jonathan Stout.
He's played his part so far in this opening half.
Talk about the continuity that they have. 4 players have started all 9 games.
Sufi might get beaten to this ball by Takawira. He does. Here's Stout now. Danger for County. Right-footed strike. That is blocked away by Koji.
Nice.
Arce gets it to Wells. It just kind of deflects off him. Can he possess the ball here? Turn out of trouble here. Buy yourself a little bit of time on the ball here, gentlemen. And there they do eventually. That's well done. Costa Wells. His first start. Go to Arce, leading scorer, to Zinho. One of the latest Tiffin collegiates to join the county ranks. Repelled back, though, by this compact and disciplined Midwest United defense. Nothing really doing there.
Well, at this point, with the goal and with halftime really closing in here, they are pretty content to just let County play with the ball, but obviously they'll take it if
we
the
give
boys in
it to
purple
them.
give it to them. So, yeah, they're going to stay in their shell, look to bring this lead into the halftime break and see what they can set up going into that second half. For County, I think this possession is better, but again, you consider the fact that Midwest probably isn't too concerned about it. And while it might be encouraging, there hasn't been anything really thrilling to show for it.
Creeping up until the later moments of this first half now. County 1-0 down. Would love to get on the board here before the break, but they'll have to wait on that as the ball was taken from Chewy Makuka. And then now Rocco Galati able to come back towards his own goal and intercept that pass. No damage done. If you're new to Oakland County FC, this is the 4th year in USL 2. And we've moved up the ranks, starting in the Great Lakes Premier League. Spent some time in the UPSL. And this is, I think, the 4th or 5th season in the USL 2. Basically, ever since COVID. 2020 was supposed to be the first year in USL 2 for Oakland County FC. And this division has changed a lot since just Oakland County has joined it.
It's changed a lot. There's been a bit of turnover, but still a lot of the same familiar faces, whether it be clubs or players.
Here's Takawira. County getting all too familiar with him, but
yeah, he's been good.
Koji able to put that away for a corner. But yeah, Takawira, the goal scorer, definitely been a threat here in the opening 45.
The goal, obviously, but he's been slippery as well. And really, the only time that they've been in behind, the only times it's been Takawira kind of just blazing a trail down this right-hand side.
Here we're coming up on the beginning of stoppage time of our first half as Giuseppe Baroni looks to set his teammates up. That one cut out by Al Sufi. Not able to produce any magic there, the veteran. Rocco heads that one away, but only as far as Baroni. Here's Takawira. Got his goal already. Here's Wells. Can he stick with it? Seen Wells in different shirts hit some absolutely beautiful goals. So if he stays in the second half, hopefully he can produce something with this opportunity.
He's been working hard so far on this near side, helping out Rocco Galati with a little defensive cover. He's gotten on the ball a few times. Stepping in for Malvin Blah tonight. A little bit of a different look for County. Malvin's been a fixture certainly this season and even going back to last year.
Yeah, he's mixed between coming on as a super sub and getting starts. He started the majority of the games until tonight. We'll see. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw him in the second half.
No,
he's in the squad.
I'd be surprised if we didn't, especially County needing a goal. Malvin's the kind of player you want to bring on.
As this one goes behind Rocco, but he's able to adjust his body and clear that out. That was potential danger there. As there's a Takawira is in some space. Rocco needed to intervene there as Costa, his short pass was a little short, but here comes Zinho. He's got an option to his right, and that's got to be a card there.
That's really cynical.
Number 18, Ezra White, our first yellow card of the game, and he definitely earned that one.
Yeah, you see fouls like that a lot, but not often are they so casual. You know, he kind of just knew, hey, ref, give
I'll
me a
just
yellow.
take it.
I'm
I'll just
slowing
take it,
this
ref.
one down. Didn't try to hide it whatsoever, and I think for his part too, Zinho feeling that pressure and not really having an outlet pass available will have welcomed that contact and probably gone down as soon as he felt it. A chance here for County right at the death here of the first half to level it up.
Best chance coming from a set play. Chewy Makuka hit the upright in the early goings. Looks like this will be a pass farther out. It's chipped into the box, but nowhere near a County runner. And there is the halftime whistle. So as we take a break here on the We Are Soccer channel, you're going to see some advertisements, and we'll welcome in We Are Soccer's Brooks Lambier to take a look at the first half and analyze these rosters from his scouting perspective. Back in just one moment here on We Are Soccer.
At OMPT Specialists, we treat our patients like their family. Our one-on-one treatment approach and philosophy really allows us to get to know our patients on a personal level. We understand what is impacting them the most and what we need to work on, and we're able to target those things very fast and get them back to function as quick as possible.
Everyone knows about the big bucket list. Trips to Europe, climbing a mountain, skydiving at 40,000 feet. But what's on your monthly bucket list? You know, the one we'd like to check off now? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we're not for profit, so we can offer some of the lowest rates around, just in time to set sail. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
In addition to our manual skills, we also have state-of-the-art equipment here at OMPT Specialists. For example, we have hydrotherapy, which is a treadmill underwater that allows the patients to unload their joints and walk pain-free.
You've got goals and you're giving it your all every day. Isn't it time someone gave you something back? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we couldn't agree more. That's why we created Give Back Checking. Just do what you normally do and get cash back. Every month, all year. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
At OMPT Specialists, we treat our patients like their family. Our one-on-one treatment approach and philosophy really allows us to get to know our patients on a personal level. We understand what is impacting them the most and what we need to work on, and we're able to target those things very fast and get them back to function as quick as possible.
Everyone knows about the big bucket list. Trips to Europe, climbing a mountain, skydiving at 40,000 feet. But what's on your monthly bucket list? You know, the one we'd like to check off now? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we're not for profit, so we can offer some of the lowest rates around, just in time to set sail. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
In addition to our manual skills, we also have state-of-the-art equipment here at OMPT Specialists. For example, we have hydrotherapy, which is a treadmill underwater that allows the patients to unload their joints and walk pain-free.
You've got goals and you're giving it your all every day. Isn't it time someone gave you something back? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we couldn't agree more. That's why we created Give Back Checking. Just do what you normally do and get cash back. Every month, all year. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
Welcome back live here to Royal Oak High School Stadium for a presentation of Oakland County FC versus Midwest United. My name is Robert Kerr. It is 1-0 in favor of the visiting Midwest United. As promised, we are joined by Sunday night co-host on We Are Soccer, Brooks Lambier. He is plugged in as a scout and is just knows these players and these rosters to a whole nother level than Mitch and myself. So we like to welcome him in to the booth. Before we talk about the action and the half itself, the visitors, what can you tell us about some of these players? I've been impressed by quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a roster made up of a lot of different players. So you're gonna have Dunwell, who's kind of the veteran of the group. You know, Brad played at Wake Forest, played in the USL League One Championship, just retired. You know, now he's an ECNL coach at Midwest United. So, you know, but he's the leader of the group. Obviously, you have Admonson at the back, who played at Saginaw Valley State. He actually came to our Midwest Pro Combine this past winter, and competed in it as well. And, you know, obviously he was a veteran back there. Then you got some young guys like Christian Shannon, who's a redshirt freshman at Western Michigan. Roney, with the center forward for them, who's a young, sophomore. I think he had to do a junior year at Western Michigan as well. So, I mean, you have a nice mixture. You have Villa Gomez, who's an academy kid who's going to be at Western Michigan this fall. So it's a little bit of everything. And then obviously you got Giuseppe Baroni, who's kind of done it for Michigan State for a lot of years. As you mentioned, he's been with Rapid City, and they won a championship last year in the indoor league.
Yeah, really fun player to watch in indoor.
Yeah, and I think that game fits his style a little more. He was a very technical and creative player at Michigan State University, but I think he just lacks the pace. But he is a very, very creative and brilliant player. He always has been.
Just having two former pros and just like experienced mid-20s players has got to be good. If you got a very young and talented roster around you, that probably goes lengths that many teams at this level, at this pre-professional level, don't have that.
Correct. I mean, at this amateur level, you want a mixture of guys that, example, Lansing City has Zach Carroll. Zach Carroll just retired from USL. Like we talked about before, he was drafted by New York Red Bull 2, won a USL championship with them, has bounced around USL for a little bit, but he's a steady Eddie that can bring his presence and his knowledge of the game to help the younger players. So when you're Josh Adams that plays next to Zach Carroll, Lansing City, you feel comfortable. And that's what these guys like a Dunwell, a Baroni, and Adamson can do for them. And I think that's important in the USL2 season, that then these kids that are academy kids or young college players can take that back into the college environment or the academy environment and then use what they've learned to progress their career. So, yes, super important.
So we've kind of broken down and analyzed the visitors lineup. There's been quite a few changes and some different faces for Oakland County than in previous games. Kind of what have you seen from this lineup today?
Yeah, there's no cohesion, I would say. I mean, listen, they've done well to press the ball, and when they've turned it over, they've done well to get into the counterattack. But you can see the cohesion's not there. Some off passes, people don't know where to be at times. Balls get played into space, and guys aren't running in. So you can see that a little bit with the guys. It's like Yamazaki, Kai passing the ball backwards. It goes out of bounds. Guys playing the balls over the top. The guy's cutting back inside to receive the ball instead of going in behind. So, you get a little bit of that. Carson Balaga, is probably more naturally a defensive mid, but he does a good job to fill in at the center back role. But you can see, he struggles a little bit at times reading balls in the air. When he played at Oakland, they played in a 3-back, and he played the center, or he played the outside right center back at times. But, he's done okay. He's made a few errors. Koji next to him has been good.
Yeah, I thought he's been a bright spot.
Yeah, they've really picked on Rocco Galati, to be honest with you, and I think that's a little due to Rocco not playing, for a year. He finished his academics up at Detroit Mercy. I'm not sure if he's trying to transfer still when I last talked to him, but you can tell people are picking on him a little bit. So, that's a factor in there. And then, obviously, you don't have your main guys. You're missing about 2 or 3 of them that are difference makers, right?
Yeah, there's been a few key injuries at the back, an immigration issue.
Yep.
Keith Larson looked to be the answer for goal scoring,
Yep.
and he is a no-go with his situation, too.
Yep.
And so it really has been a big change just since the opening weeks of the season when Oakland County went out to Grand Rapids and took it to this team that's now gone on a winning streak. So in that first half, there wasn't a whole lot of shots. Oakland County's best chance was a set piece.
Yep.
Chui Makuka able to hit the upright. What changes do you think that Coach Steve Walker could bring in? When I see Aaron Soljmani for the visitors at Western, I think of his opposite, Alec Markovsky. He was in the on the bench in the first half. Does he get introduced? He's had a lot of opportunities so far, has only got the one goal. He's out here warming up on the field. I wonder if he might be introduced to try to get a goal back.
Yeah, no, I think Markovsky would be a good one. Again, like we talked about on Sunday, though, Markovsky needs to find a way to get involved a little more. I think he can be a phenomenal player and he's a good finisher, but he's got to do more than just running behind and, expect the ball to feed it all the time, every time. You got to do a little more. You got to get the feed with your back to goal, to turn and play out, to hold the ball up so people can combine off you. There's a lot of stuff he needs to add a little bit to his game to improve a little bit. I think Galati has done getting forward. He hesitates a little bit at times. I think there's one thing that he really needs to do is he hesitates a second to whip the ball, and he second guesses himself. He needs to just go.
Adds a little bit of snap.
Just go.
He'll work his way all the way down, get to the top of the box, and then think about it rather than either a snapshot low and near or across the field.
Correct, yeah. And listen, I think they found the midfield pretty well. They built out a little bit. They've played east to west. They've done what they've needed to do. But the final third presence in not just making a direct run, they need to make a run off the back shoulder, half arc it, and then get in, come off someone's shoulder, come in and just be more creative and not direct with their runs, because that's where it's going to come from. And then for me, I think the ball's got to be crossed on the ground. If it's not crossed on the ground, I don't think you have many aerial threats. So, and there's not many of those guys these days that honestly play at USL2, college, or, even in youth soccer, unfortunately. There's not a lot of guys that are dominant in the air, so.
It'll be interesting to see what changes come for either Midwest United from Coach Luke Ruff or from head coach Steve Walker here in this second half.
So one for me that I think is really a game changer for Midwest United, a kid that plays at the University of Michigan, is Nicholas Cassidy. Very dynamic left-footed player, play at the outside back, play as a winger. In the green shoes here, if we can see on the camera here, warming up close here. He's a very dynamic player, can take guys on, can get to the box, can use both feet. Hard defender, gets stuck in. He's a guy that can definitely come in and change the game, and they can find another goal from him. But OCFC cannot come out flat-footed. They have to be on the offensive. They have to take it to Midwest United, get an early goal, tie it up 1-1, and then we got a game here in the second half.
I think if County can get a result, the season is recoverable. It gets to a dark place, though, if they fall to 2-5. Before you go, I want to remind viewers there is content galore on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. We have interviews with both of these coaches in the queue there on the channel. And you can check Brooks, who we've been speaking with here at halftime, and Craig Hearn and the whole gang on their show, the Sunday Night Review Show on We Are Soccer, each and every week. What do you think you're going to be talking about? There's not much to talk about in world football this weekend, will there?
Man, we got Euros starting. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. We got Copa America. We had the U.S. men's national team just get a 1-1 draw with Brazil. So there's a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of interviews. We've had guys we've interviewed that were in the TST 77 tournament. And we're going to be having some more interviews up here in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for all the great content, the Sunday Night Show, and much more from We Are Soccer.
Thank you so much, Brooks, for joining us once again in the booth. We are just seconds away from our second half kickoff. Oakland County FC desperately need to find their goal-scoring abilities. They will be going from left to right as Midwest United in the gray and the white from right to left. Kicking to the north will the visitors be, as I welcome in back into the sweaty booth, Mitch Gatsky. How was it down there on the concourse?
Rob, I have good news. I went into the locker room. I gave all the players my scoring boots. Happy to report the scoring drought will be cured here in the second half.
That's good news, Mitch. Thank you so much. I am mildly disappointed you didn't get me any hot dogs from the concourse.
I didn't make it
but
down there.
I appreciate you trying to encourage goal scoring
was-
in the locker room,
I
though.
was passing out shoes like crazy. I didn't have time for hot dogs.
I know you usually bring a bag to these games, but I didn't know you had 11 sets of boots.
It's all boots.
There's no notes in there. You're not taking notes. You're not bringing research. You're just bringing the goal-scoring boots, which County now need more than at any time. They have gone at least a game and a half without hitting the back of the net, and to get a result, they'll need at least one. So we are all set and ready to go. The referee looks to be checking the net, making sure that's all connected, and whatever the referees do to make sure that the nets are sound. And
Rob, I see a couple of changes for County as I survey the field and the starting 11 that's taking the pitch here for the second half. Rocco Galati's slid back over to right back, still on this near side as we flipped around. We're now attacking the other way, and not sure who that is, who's checked in at the left back position, top of the field, but as soon as we get a number on him, we'll be sure to identify. It's Dom Koji and Carson Balak still at the back in central defense. Rob Jelai between the pipes. Kai Yamazaki, Zinho Ogaro, and who is that? The Colin Arce still the starter in midfield. Chewy Makuka here on the near side as the forward. Malvin Gabla has checked in at the left wing up top there, just on top of the center circle. He's standing next to Braden Stefanovic, who got the start as well. So Malvin and that mystery player at the left back position.
So
basically a new left side for County here to start the second half.
yeah, new left side for County, and looks like we're getting some repairs on the goal to the right. That Diversified Members Credit Union, a penalty shootout at halftime, just too much for the goals here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. One of those youngsters proudly supporting their club teams today for Club Appreciation Night. Must have just ripped it a little too hard into that net.
There were a couple of rips, so I wouldn't be surprised if the net took some of that collateral damage.
So 2 changes for County. Still looking for the number on the new left fullback. New left winger is Malvin Blah, one of the minutes leaders for this Oakland County side. I hope that maybe with only having to commit 45 minutes, Malvin can come out and really be sharp. Brooks was in here at the half, and he was saying that there can be no hesitation here in the second half, and they just absolutely have to be sharp, and no way can they come out with a flat performance here in the second half. The season really, I mean, it's the recovery starts now, or it gets deep and dark here for the home side.
Yeah, I mean, you're running out of time and running out of opportunities, especially your opponent here tonight having racked up so many points already in the standings. We mentioned it briefly at the top of the show, and just with the amount of games that they've already played, just 4 remaining for Midwest after tonight, they're going to force the rest of the division to play catch-up, and whoever it is that's going to try to chase them down for the top spot in the Great Lakes.
If you're just joining us, welcome in. My name is Robert Kerr on the call alongside Mitch Gatsky on We Are Soccer YouTube channel. Oakland County FC in the purple and black, going from left to right, and Midwest United in all gray from right to left. It is the visitors, the table toppers, with the lead. Here's the goal scorer. He's looking to feed number 25 here, dancing the edge of the box, tries to get a right-footed shot, but clanged into the captain, Rocco Galati. On the near side for the visitors, number 25 is Iran Shilzmani, the former County player, turned Midwest United goal-scoring leader. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Stevanovic leading the line for County. Talked to halftime. Would Markovsky get another opportunity today? They're probably going to be battling. Him and Silzmani are going to be battling for playing time at Western in the fall.
Yeah, interesting wrinkle here in this game.
And that left-footed cross from that newly added player sails into the arms of the Midwest United goalkeeper.
I've identified him, Rob. It's Daniel Watkins wearing number 15 there in the red boots on the far side.
So the Troy native, the Athens High School alumnus gets his county debut. He's heading into his second season in Madonna at the fall. He got 3 goals in 19 appearances.
Good play there from him. Slides it up to Melvin, who's breaking into space. Here he is in the box. Shifts past a defender, but can't find it on the other end.
It's good to see him get into the box early. Hopefully he can find a moment of inspiration as Giuseppe Baroni finds Takawira. He's already gotten 1. He goes around a defender, passes it wide to the right, but to stay onside. Number 25 in white, Soljmani, once again, was holding his run, and the pass was leading him to an offside position, so he held on. And that runs out of play for a county throw. Young
Watkins.
Daniel Watkins to throw. And that doesn't go too far. Are they going to let him retry that? Did that even make it in? So he gives up. He says, throw-ins aren't for me. Let's get Koji.
Yeah, he said, Dom, you go ahead and take this.
I'm out. One and done with that. That's a much better throw intended for Melvin Blah. Bounces away from him. Here's Jonathan Stout on the ball. Takes a push in the back from Zinho. He's trying to get around Galati. He cuts back. Tries to go baseline again, but great footwork defensively from Rocco to stay with that. His feet were moving quick to keep up with the attacker here on the left side.
The ball control from Midwest has been pretty notable from just about everybody across that forward line.
Stout definitely press resistant as he shrugged off a good number of challenges in that sequence.
Good
and here he is
turn.
again. He does it again. He gets it poked away from him. Soljmani looking to be opportunistic. He's surrounded by purple players. That's a shot deflected. Looked like it hit a hand of the Midwest player. Play goes on. Unable to get Midwest off the ball. As that pass goes across and gets to the top of the 6-yard box and cleared away for the moment. Midwest showing the impetus here in the opening 4 moments. And that cross goes all the way to the back, and Midwest keep it in and cycle it back to Takawira. Zinho able to intercept and clear only as far as Adamson, who barrels it off the chest of Baroni and looks to feed his right-sided attacking teammate, but that one is offside as the shadows get long here at Royal Oak High School Stadium.
So far, Rob, it's been Midwest on the front foot. So many players at the back for County. Hasn't really been, they haven't been able to free those outlet options.
And here is where County have found a little bit of success is on turnovers. Here's Zinho. He gets dispossessed, though. Maybe a little too direct there. Went straight into 2 defenders. And they had a couple numbers up. Looked like Chewy was in some space on the right-hand side, but unable to really make anything of that turnover. But getting on the second balls from long balls or forcing turnovers with the press as Baroni flicks this on for Takawira, who's got Stout to his side, but Galati did well to step in front of that.
Well done, Rocco.
He's hard charging. He's got Chewy here. Stevanovic ahead of the play, but no one looked up for his run.
Yeah, but that's just it. There's only one option for County right now. Whenever somebody gets the ball, there's not a whole lot of teammates to pass to.
And a lot of the teammates around the ball are not making a lot of runs. It's not like everyone's in a position of trust where they know if they make that run, they'll get the ball, so they're willing runners. They're getting in the static teammate mode, which is unfortunate. And you see Colin Arce and a couple teammates calling for the ball and looking for some speed. And hopefully that change comes as the minutes tick on.
Yeah, and I think that frustration is part of a byproduct when you rely on the wings to generate so much of your offense, and it's one-on-one situations when they're not fully functioning at their peak. You know, it can really put the pressure on the rest of the team to perform, and sometimes just too much standing around limits your abilities to ask the right questions of your defending opponents.
And there is the customary yellow card for Kai Yamazaki.
I think that was Zinho, actually.
Yeah?
I think Zinho stuck the foot in there.
looking
Kai-
for confirmation on the
Kai
yellow.
was behind the play, and Zinho was the one that made the tackle. So I think he's going to get the card. But he's, I mean, pretty customary for him to pick up yellows recently since he's moved up to midfield. I think playing with a little bit more aggression.
Par for the course, I suppose. As Midwest United weigh their options on this free kick. Diagonal ball. And that hangs up in the wind, and no runners really took the chance to get in on the end of that. Rob Gelite looks to feed Makuka, but headed away from the men in purple.
Good point about the wind, Rob. We haven't mentioned it yet on the broadcast, but it is pretty strong, blowing from near side to far side, pretty directly across the pitch. So not
There's
really
Watkins.
an advantage for either team attacking right to left, but top to bottom across your screen, really, the wind.
It is as Midwest United dance through those shadows here on that far side of the field. And I'm glad to see there's some talking between the county players, the attacking players, as Midwest United get into the box. And Takawira, not sure if he was looking for a pass or a shot there, but I see Stevanovic and Arce talking a little bit. And how can they be cohesive as a front four? Because so far he's been a 1. And
Yeah.
let's see if they can't talk their way through it, trying to get some momentum on the way. But here is some defending to be done. That clanks off the crossbar, falls back to Baroni. He's unable to control it, but Siljmani almost putting a dagger into his former team as Takawira comes on the right-hand side now. Cutting inside, spins, goes wide to Baroni. Looking for Siljmani, but Jelai does well there. And this ball is coming to Makuka. He does finally look over his shoulder and find it. As I want him to play shorter there to find a teammate, but he finds Watkins on the far side. Koji doesn't have a lot of options here, but he does find Zinho. Zinho to his college teammate and county teammate, Yamazaki. We go all the way back to Jelai, looking long for Malvin. Headed away from here. Takawira, time and space to pick his pass. And no hurry now for the visitors. Over half an hour to go, but they've got the ball in relative control of this one at this stage of the game.
I think Rob Jelai got a piece of that last try from Siljmani to push it onto the crossbar.
Midwest United screaming at the referee for a call, but nothing doing there to the relief of the county faithful. In times past, this has been the purple patch here in Royal Oak, but hard to call it that when there's been no action in the back of the net, as here comes another yellow card, that time for perhaps Colin Arce, and it looks like we are going to get a striker now. It looks like Alec Markovsky is going to check into the game for Colin Arce.
Arce just getting a little frustrated in the last couple of moments. We saw some words between him and some teammates, and certainly unnecessary yellow there. So good job by head coach Steve Walker to recognize that and pull Arce off the field before anything too drastic happens. And also he's got to start putting some attacking pressure on Midwest. So switch to Markovsky will hopefully provide that.
Yeah, so hopefully Stevanovic can be a little closer to his wingers and then have an outlet to go forward to Markovsky. Stevanovic definitely looks like he wants to come back to the ball more than drive behind the back line, as that's a dangerous free kick put up onto the bar and went over. So that's a couple of clangers in a row against County's frame.
Living dangerously.
Yeah. If our halftime notes from Brooks Lambier was County couldn't come out flat. I wouldn't say they've been flat, but Midwest United have been definitely the sharper of the two. As here come County with a newly added striker. Here's Stevanovic, the number 9. Markovsky playing the 9 position, wearing the number 14 up ahead. Can he get his second goal of the season? Not a lot of goals in this county side so far. Here's Zinho making a run. It's cut out, though. Didn't quite line up that pass, did Chewy? Here's Stout. He turned a couple times, did well, and then eventually was hacked down by the number 6 of county, Kai Yamazaki. Take this moment to thank our title sponsor here at Oakland County FC, Diversified Members Credit Union. As here comes Ronnie Seljmani dribbling into the box, kind of giving the back line a little bit of a hard time here this evening. Here's Baroni. He's looking to feed a teammate. Here's Stout on the return pass. This is excellent work. Right-footed strike just around Rob Gelide's left upright. And that's 3 chances for Midwest United here in the second half that have come so close.
And the give and go is really starting to take its toll. We've seen a couple of combinations just like that have led to opportunities right at the top of the box for Midwest. They haven't capitalized yet, but I would bank on them doing so if they're going to be allowed such opportunities.
Yeah, and they got Carson Balog, and who is definitely more of a midfielder sliding back because of the need for defenders. So when you get a team really combining well, that's when that lack of, complete, full 100% comfort in that role can be tested.
And it's the difference, too, of playing midfield and playing in central defense where you just can't pass off runners. You need to stick with that guy regardless of where you are on the field. You can't allow him to just run in on your keeper.
Because if they get behind you, that's it. That's it.
There's nobody behind you.
Makuka
Good job,
wins a
Chewy.
tackle and is brought down. That looked like a retaliatory tackle by Christian Shannon, as he didn't like the challenge when Makuka took it from him, and he just straight up took him down there. Makuka drawing a foul and a free kick in a tantalizing position.
Kind of surprised not to see the card come out there considering the location and just
the manner of it all.
Yeah, just the one defender behind Shannon when he made that play.
Yeah, I mean, that was a foul. I mean, that was just as much an intentional foul as the pulling the shirt back and the breakaway in the first half.
I think so.
I mean, he knew
what he was
behind him. He
Yeah.
slid tackle, didn't get near the ball. Definitely surprised referee didn't bust out the yellow. I'm glad he didn't call a foul on the initial tackle from Makuka, but surprised to see no names in the book there. Makuka hit an upright from a similar position in the first half at the other end of the field. Can he produce some magic here? Markovsky looks interested as well. Makuka with the left foot! And that produces a comfortable save by Jonathan Cleaver.
The problem with hitting the post on your first attempt is that when you try to do it again, the keeper's going to have a good idea. You're probably going to try to do the very same thing.
Definitely. And it was a similar attempt there from the county number 7. Yeah, Chewy's a long way from home. He's a Zambia native, came and plays collegiate ball at Tiffin. And
He's made a new home here in the county, though, Rob.
Definitely a stalwart in this county lineup, as many of these Tiffin players have become. Him, Kai Yamazaki, Malvin Blah, and then this year also the addition of Zinho.
You see those little pipelines all over the division with, certain college programs kind of feeding teams at the USL2 level. And in our division and really across the country, kind of those pockets of players sticking together, almost like could draw an AAU parallel in basketball if you see a lot of guys who kind of grew up together, went to the same college, they play together in the summers.
Can Malvin get to this? He did well with his pressing to get on that. He goes around the defender. He's into the box. Malvin goes to Alec Markovsky. And probably County's best effort of the second half there. The substitutes, Malvin Blah connecting with Alec Markovsky. Slightly closer for the home team. The men in purple looking to get on the score sheet, give this hometown team these hometown fans, rather, something to cheer for, but defense is needed as Giuseppe Baroni runs in towards the county back line, finds the goal scorer. And Dom Koji, strong again, repelling that Midwest attack. Algaro, Zinho, he had his pass unfortunately intercepted as Midwest United have been very threatening here in this second half. Haven't hit the back of the net just yet, but they've come as close as you can. Right-footed strike and a rocket stings the hands of Rob Gelai, and he's able to collect more threat from the visitors.
Well, I was surprised on that last attempt that the keeper on the other end, Jonathan Kluwer, was able to grab hold of that shot attempt because that one was coming with a bit of venom, and you saw Rob Gelai there. Thankfully, no Midwest players in the box because he wasn't able to corral that one at first attempt.
Winger Malvin Blah throws it in there. He kind of started that last chance for County, you know, that getting a turnover on the press, beating the fullback on the far side, and supplying a nice pass to his attacking teammates. Hopefully we see more of that. And here's Stevanovic feeding Blah. He's onside. Looking for the run of Makarski, but he goes to Zinho. And the shot, not quite enough zip on that one, and Midwest goalkeeper able to cover up on that one. But more chances now, and good to see a nice run. Markovsky giving a little bit of movement in the box there.
Yeah, they're forcing the issue a lot more and able to play in the attacking third in a way that they weren't able to, certainly in the beginning of this second half, but for a majority of the first half as well.
Good step by Galati. Can they win the ball back here? It's a bit of a scrum in the middle of the park there, and Midwest come out with it.
It's just very noticeable how the ball has, yes, kind of bounced around in midfield, but it seems like Midwest always ends up on the end of it.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of the game, it was the opposite, but ever since, it's been all Midwest United. And that is the second goal of the game. That's feathered through the goalkeeper.
Clementson.
Yeah, and that is the fullback for the visitors.
Midwest United scores.
Joshua Clementson gets on the board and makes it 2 for Midwest. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, and kind of not a carbon copy, but certainly a similar play to what we saw for the first goal. Rob Gelai has been so strong throughout the first half of the season, and really just a couple of moments here today where he's gotten beat at his near post. Certainly more room for the attackers, but you would assume that Gelai would make those saves more times than not, and tonight just hasn't been his night.
And sometimes when pressure mounts, it can make things crack, and Midwest United has applied a lot of pressure here in this second half. We were hoping, as County supporters, that the Men in Purple would come out and be the team on the front foot, get on the board, and kind of take it to the visitors. But it's been the other way around. Midwest United getting that second and all-important goal of the game. And
timing of it.
Yeah, the timing of that, just as County started to get a little bit of momentum following the attacking subs, and then that is a dagger blow as they're starting to substitute their key players out, our Midwest. I think that was White and Takawira. Oh, no, Takawira's still out there. He must have just been getting some water. And coming off the field was Ezra White.
Rob, let's tell the people about Sweet Green. Their core values guide their actions, and they aim to empower their customers, team members, and partners to be a positive force on the food system. That's why they're building a transparent supply network, why they cook from scratch, and why they're building a community of people who believe in the power of real food. For more information and location nearest you, visit sweetgreen.com.
And it's not going to get any easier for County as substituting in for Ezra White is Nicholas Cassidy, who was a University of Michigan player and very accomplished in his youth career, the one with the bright green boots, and he was a player to look out for in our halftime talk with Brooks Lambier, and he has entered the fray, number 11 on the left-hand side here. So watch out for that, County. As, like you said earlier, the depth on display for Midwest. They have their full-strength lineup still this late into the calendar, which is impressive in its own right, but they also have healthy players on the bench.
Yeah, just other options to go to and role players who can come in and do a job for a half hour at the end of a match. You know, you don't have to rely on 11 guys to go 90 minutes.
As Midwest United come down the right-hand side, here's Siljmani. He's got space in the box, a right-footed strike. And Galati makes that save, but you don't like to see that much time on the ball for one of their most lethal leading scorers.
It's getting pretty scary here, Rob. There's not a whole lot of defending going on right now, and Rob Jelli's at a couple of moments here in the second half kind of been on his own.
Yeah, hopefully he's giving it to his defenders out there. I'm taking a look at Coach Walker as he's talking to some possible double change coming in here. That's a corner that slams off of the chest of Rocco Galati. Club appreciation night rather here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Game 4 of 8 for the Oakland County FC home calendar. As Cassidy plays that into the box, headed away. As far as that experienced midfield of Baroni and Dunwell. Baroni looking for some teammates. That's backheeled. And they do get a shot off. That is the number 4, Benjamin Adamson. The defender got that, but the Oakland County FC defender able to get enough off that to take the sting out of it for his goalkeeper, as County need to put together something here, at the very least take some pressure off of their back line. Yamazaki spreading around the horseshoe at the back here. Get it to Markovsky. What can the forward do? Gets it to Makuka. Plays it across to try to get the return pass to Markovsky. Markovsky made a very nice run. A little give and go there with Makuka, was the Bronco. And that cross, looking for Markovsky again, just not quite accurate enough. And that goes into the arms of the Midwest United keeper. I was saying this is game 4 of 8 of this home calendar here for Oakland County FC. 2024 season will be halfway through, so there's only 4 more opportunities for viewers out there to come check out a game. Coming up next, actually, you're right. Oh, we already surpassed the half. We are in the second half of the season. There's 7 home games rather than 8. My apologies there. 3 home games. Home on June 29th is the next home game for County, so plenty of time to prepare. We'll take on rebranded South Bend Lions, the Michiana Lions. Big 4th of July weekend game, July 6th against Flint City, one of the perennial powerhouses of this league. And then we complete the season against Kalamazoo on the 14th of July. So 3 more home dates to go. Still plenty of time here. 20 plus some change for County to turn this around. Here's Cassidy. Plays it back to the experienced Dunwell. And there's the goal scorer of the second goal, the fullback, Clementson. He keeps the play going, and now it's all the way on the far side. Malvin takes it away from 2 Midwest players. Here's Stevanovic, turns away from 1. He gets a bit of an arm bar there from the scorer of the first goal, and that pass is wayward, intended for Malvin Blah. Not seeing a lot of chemistry coming along here. It's a bit flat for the home team, unfortunately.
And it's something that I have focused on quite a bit with this team, too. It's just players in different positions, playing with different teammates. There's a lot of a feeling out process that we're watching kind of happen on the fly here, and this can sometimes be the result. Some choppy performances from guys who you just expect a little bit more from. Another substitution here for County. I think Zinio's going to come back to right back.
Yeah, Zinio's coming back to right back as Captain Rocco Galati hits the bench, as does number 7, the left-sided or the right-sided winger for much of this game, Chewy Makuka, who came the closest in this game, having his free kick hit the upright in the first half and another chance just go wide. Into the game, 2 new players. One is on the left side of the attack and the other in the midfield where Zinio just was. We'll give those updates as we see their numbers. Baroni, like you were good to note that the experienced professionals, rather than getting tired, they know how to pace themselves. That's probably a better take on that. And they definitely look like they're going to keep this humming. They've definitely, in their career, have, engineered a win from this sort of a position, as this is intended for Siljmani, but that's offside. That will not count. That flag from the linesman came up early, so no question about that. Still a tidy finish from the former county man, the current Western Michigan Bronco. Yeah, storyline for the fall, Markovsky and Siljmani. I'm not sure if they play 2 up front or if they'll be competing for the same position there for Chad Wiseman at Western. Very competitive team. I feel like the Broncos starting lineup has been kind of the all-star of this USL Great Lakes division.
Yeah, they're all over the division for sure. We've got 4 of them here this evening in Midwest United Gray. Let me just double check my notes here.
At least 3.
The right. Oh, yes, it is. It is 3, but Siljmani, Burkett, Shannon, and Villa Gomez in the fall will be a rising freshman, so it will become 1 more. Western
About
Michigan
to be
Bronco.
4, yeah. Next up in their schedule, the visitors in 2 days' time make the short trek from here to take on AFC Ann Arbor. That will no doubt be a test for them. County fell 1-0 on 2 separate occasions to Ann Arbor. And then for the home team, luckily, this is the last of this stretch. This is the 3rd game. We actually probably should have given a little bit more airtime to this. This is the 3rd game in 7 days. And there's been a short bench or a short squad for this stretch of 3 games in 7 days. That's really made this difficult for the first-year head coach.
Yeah,
as that's a penalty. It looks like Takawira was brought down in the box and greater difficulty thrust upon County in this match, as it looks like
I didn't think he was in the box, but
apparently it's been deemed so. As looks like the leading scorer, the Western Michigan Bronco, the Gull Lake native Roni Siljmani, looking to make it 3 for the visitors. Can Jeli get one back here? It'll be a right-footed attempt. And it goes right underneath the goalkeeper, and it is 3 for the table-topping visitors. They've been on an impressive tear this season, and it looks like they're on the way to win number 8, Mitch.
yeah, it's been a tough one at the back for County, no doubt about it. We've talked about the different players in central defense, and I think you're just seeing what happens when you've got some inexperienced defenders who are tasked with keeping up with quite a potent front line that Midwest presents. They know how to exploit the spaces. They figured out how they want to attack this County back line, and they're really causing some problems in all sorts of ways, and scored just about as different ways as you can here this evening.
Back underway here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. My name's Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky and the Oakland County FC Stream Team, being presented here on We Are Soccer and the Sports Engine streaming platform. County are in the purple and black, going from left to right. The visitors, the table toppers, Midwest United, in the gray and white, going from right to left. Here's Malvin Blah trying to get in behind Cassidy, unable to do so, as County's dry spell in front of net continuing here today in a bit of a departure from typical County style. County have always scored a lot of goals, but have, kind of always been in the moment, like a game could explode with goals at any time in the past. And in a complete, change in form, obviously there's been change in coaching, change in some players, and that's definitely not the case as Stevanovic looks to feed the number 16 for County, and that's Marco Mazet into the fray for County, and he gets whistled for a foul there.
It's really unfortunate to see what's happened to County just here in the last couple of weeks, too, because we saw a really good partnership forming in central defense between Braden Barutsky and Mark Wishmeyer. They both go down. They've both been unavailable for a few games in a row now. So it's just been tough. When you finally feel like you've got a good lineup and you feel good about the starting 11 that you can roll out game after game, all of a sudden some change of plans, and the depth that Midwest has enjoyed is really desirable when you look across the pitch, and something that Oakland County would have loved to enjoy this summer.
Yeah, there's some other defenders out too, with Mamadou Keita not available, as Van de Winkel also
Yeah, you
lost
just
him.
think about it. When you start to add them up, you're at like 5th, 6th option. And that's nothing against the players that are in there, but they are
filling in.
They are filling in, and they're suited to play different roles for this team, and asking them to do more than was planned originally just puts them kind of behind the 8 ball. And you mentioned it, maybe everybody's pressing a little bit because your teammates are out, and who's going to step up sometimes just doesn't work out the way that you plan.
Just over 10 minutes in stoppage time to go here in Metro Detroit. Oakland County's title sponsor is Diversified Members Credit Union, your local credit union. Upgrade your life with kitchens, weddings, vacations, and more. DMCU will help make it real. As Jella is forced into a save, and then Takawira puts it over the bar, almost made it 4 here. And you said it earlier, these last few moments are getting a little dicey for the hometown team.
It's turning into a little bit of an open season on the county net. A late one there from Markovsky.
Yes, shout out to my Thursday pickup soccer crew. Seen a lot of them on scene today. They're, I think, maybe starting to hit the exits as they get ready for a 9 o'clock kickoff for their Thursday night pickup. So maybe I'll run over there. But I don't know, Gus and Snug, we haven't mentioned them here tonight.
Somebody's going to have to be doing some drinking after this one, Rob. I don't know, you or me.
So Gus and Snug is located at 38 South Main Street in downtown Clawson, the official post-match gathering spot. Come on in for great specials and cherished time amongst other OCFC supporters.
Perfect
Gus and
place
Snug.
to commiserate.
In this case, yes, we had a couple good times there at the beginning of the season, but a great new spot, a great new addition to not only the neighborhood, but as a county partner. Zinho, surrounded by a few, his pass gets away from number 10, thankfully. I'm glad that
That was pretty close.
that was a well-measured ball. The number 10 for the visitors, Gabriel Villagomez, was pretty close, only a step or two away from cutting out that pass.
Zinho's really good about those weighted passes, though, and measuring things, and he has a really good understanding of the spacing on the pitch and how hard he needs to hit a ball to get it to his teammate as opposed to the opposition. Passing, I think, is his strong suit wherever he's been placed, whether it's midfield or right back, and I think even left back at the beginning of the season. He just has a good foot and knows how to use it, knows how to put the ball where he wants it.
I'm really glad to see so many, maybe they're thinning out as the evening gets a little later on, but it is Club Appreciation Night, a night to celebrate all the club players and parents It was just tryout weekend, so all the kids hopeful to make a team for next year had to put forth some efforts over the past weekend. I'm sure that can be exciting and stressful at the same time. So County trying to treat these young players to some high-level soccer here in the area. So great to see Club Appreciation Night. And if you're new to County, last year, highest finish in USL 2, finished third, just a hair away from the playoff spots. And there is a supporter-owned element, as there is this Oakland County FC Supporters Trust. There's about 150 or so of us who invested back in, 2018, 2019 time, bought a percentage share of this team. So Oakland County is a community supporter-owned club. As the sun sets, and it looks very nice on Quickstead Park, the forest in the background here beyond the playing fields here in Royal Oak, Michigan, just about 15, 20 minutes away from Detroit for those folks tuning in from out of the area. Located at the corners of Crooks and Normandy, right in between Royal Oak and downtown Clawson. Beautiful area if you have not visited. If you haven't visited a game, 3 more dates to come on out to a county home game. Great free kid zone, plenty of giveaways, and some top-level action. Plus partner bars before and after, depending on how long you want to make your county match day.
And it's a great community to be a part of, Rob. A lot of the talking that we do on these streams is talking about the game, what's happening on the pitch, but there's so much more going on off the pitch, outside of the game, that really makes this club a pleasure to be a part of. It's the connections that you make with the players and other fans, the front office, the interns, everybody top to bottom. It's really just a class organization, and like I say, pleasure to be a part of it.
Just over 5 minutes to play here in this USL 2 Great Lakes Division regular season matchup. The score favoring the visitors, Midwest United, who are at the very top of the division, having their best league showing in their 3rd year at this level.
They just keep rolling, Rob. It's almost like nothing can stop them. Obviously, taking the loss last time out at Flint, we know that's a very tough place to go and play, but Midwest just keeps racking up the results.
And no one's really going to criticize the resume if your lone defeat is to Flint City Bucks. They are typically one of the 2 teams that make the playoffs from this division. Kalamazoo won back-to-back, and I believe the Bucks won last year with Ann Arbor getting that 2nd playoff spot. I think it came down to the last week of the season, County missing out and just by a single point, I believe. And County, hopefully, maybe chance for a consolation goal here, as maybe a little bit of the injuries taken out of the opponent, as the results getting to be a bit of a foregone conclusion. But hopefully the fans that have remained get something to cheer for here at the end. But not a lot doing, really. County in the first half hit the upright, put a couple wide. We're starting to get back in the game with the addition of Malvin Blah and Alec Markowski, but as soon as the attacking cohesion started to come together, Midwest United got a dagger of a 2nd goal, and then a few moments after that added a 3rd.
Rob, it would be a completely different game. Make sure that one gets cleared. Would have been a completely different game if Chewy's free kick early on, maybe first 15-ish, first 20-ish minutes, if that finds the inside of the post in the back of the net instead of the outside of the post, looking at a completely different game, I'm quite sure, because that really gave Midwest the platform to set up and just kind of strangle the game. County got on the ball a little bit in the latter stages of that first half, but you could tell Midwest with their foot on the gas pedal, really looking to force the issue, and they've kind of put County to the sword here in the second half.
Swinging the ball around to the far side now are the visitors, looking for the opportunity for a fourth. That cross hits the Midwest player right in the head. Perfect delivery from the right-hand side, and that is 4 for Midwest United.
And that, again, I mean, I hate to use it as an excuse, and it feels like we're talking about it quite a bit, but that's probably not something that you see happen if there are two center backs who are used to playing center back in the lineup. Those cross balls in just wouldn't find an attacking player in such open space, and you know, a cross like that finds a head like that in a spot like that. You just have to score that, and it's Johnny Monty who gets that goal. He's actually interesting, Rob. He's played in every game but hasn't started any of them. So we talk about the depth for Midwest. He's a perfect example, a guy who you can bring in as the game winds down. You know he can provide quality minutes. He's chipped in on the score sheet as well. And that just kind of depicts what Midwest has been working with. And head coach Luke Ruff, all the players at his disposal this summer, and just the strings that he's pulled so far.
When you spoke with him in the preseason, which you can actually catch that interview on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel, what were some of the things that he said in that interview that kind of you see bearing fruit in games in the season so far?
A lot of it was the continuity and the fact that a lot of these guys are players who have been in the Midwest system at one point or another, or have played with a teammate who can kind of guide them along. And this is really a grooved team. You see it in their attacking play. They know what they want to do with the ball when they get it. It's clearly very rehearsed, but it's also very flexible. They have the artists up top to kind of just wave the magic wand and do their own thing. Siljmani has had a very nice summer for himself and probably created some opportunities that didn't exist prior to him banging in goals left and right. And contributions have come from all over the team. Midwest really top form right now, and we're going to run into an interesting situation as a turnover here. Sees Cassidy on the ball. Midwest is going to finish up their season before anybody else does, so they really are just trying to rack up as many points as they can and play that catch me if you can game. Trying to stay out ahead of Flint and Kalamazoo and Ann Arbor. Lansing and Oakland County look like they are kind of falling by the wayside, unfortunately, as it is to say. And Michiana struggling for sure. Union Macomb as well, kind of bringing up the rear of the division. Still plenty to play for County. We've talked about it in seasons past where results haven't gone our way. There's still a lot at stake for these players individually, so there's no doubt in my mind we'll see 100% out of everybody down the stretch. Just a little disheartening that it might not come with the team success that you would have hoped for.
Yeah, Oakland County FC match days, always fun to come out, but yeah, maybe the pressure of the match having playoff implications might be fading, but still plenty of action to come out and see. And I welcome everyone that's viewing now to continue to do so. We've had some good viewership of these games as we're into the closing moments. Looking for another one. Here's Cassidy. The Wolverine smashes a left footer just high of Rob Jelai's goal. And this 4-0 scoreline matches the worst scoreline of the season a couple games ago out in Kalamazoo. Was that only 7 days ago when this turn to the season happened? How quickly things can turn with such a condensed season. It was going just fine, 2-2, and in 3 games in 7 days and 3 losses in a row. So a very difficult week to rebound from. But we welcome everyone to come back for the journey. Next home game here for County is the 29th of June, as we welcome the cellar dwellers, Michiana Lions, as Melvin Blah looks to square that one, but not quite enough pace on it to get to Markovsky. And then next game in the schedule on the 22nd, these county players, this team, this club will head up the road about an hour or so and take off and take on the Flint City Bucks. To review this game as we're into second half stoppage time, the goal scoring for just one team, as we'll look up for just a moment, see if County can get consolation. That's crosses wide of Stevanovic. And there's a foul there. And that's a tough one to take. You're just trying to get a little bit of forward positivity there, and they blow you down for a whistle. So what is your favorite thing at Guston Snug?
That's a good question.
Fresh air and good friends, I'm sure you'll say.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had enough of the food to really be able to provide much of an educated opinion on it. I will say the beer is always cold.
Yeah, delicious stuff there. As the injury time crawls by here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, as the Michigan Wolverine, who had his shot just go inches over the bar, continues to torment the county back line. Here's Baroni, who has gone the full 90.
He's a player, I don't remember seeing him run at any point today. He's just the sort of player who's in the spots that you need him to be at the moments when you need him there.
I do remember him playing many good passes, I'll tell you that. Not too many times where he's had to run, maybe more than a couple steps. And there is sweet relief for the home fans, as this one ends by a score of 0 for the home team and 4 for the visitors. Midwest United come into town top of the league, and they will remain there. To review your scoring, it all started in the first half with Vitalis Takawira, and in second half to forget once again for County, as Joshua Clementson, the fullback, made it to not long after that from the penalty spot. Leading scorer Iran Siljmani made it 3. And in the very late goings, Johnny Monet made it 4. So I want to thank you once again for tuning in to We Are Soccer. My name is Robert Kerr. It's been a pleasure to be on the call with you. I've been on the call partner in these games, Mitch Gatsky. Thank you to the County Stream team. And until our next broadcast from Royal Oak High School Stadium, which comes to you on June 29th, tune in to all the content on We Are Soccer, including the Sunday night review show. So once again, my name is Robert Kerr. He's Mitch Gatsky, and we will see you next time. And until then, everybody, please enjoy your soccer.